Good morning, students. Now, remaining two qualitative properties we have seen in this lecture. That first property is the depression in freezing point and fourth is the osmotic pressure. Now, these two properties we can see one by one. First is the depression in freezing point. What is freezing point? Freezing point of liquid, it is the temperature at which liquid and solid are in equilibrium. Means two phases have the same vapor pressure. The general observation is that the freezing point of solvent it is lowered by dissolving a non-volatile solute. So in this depression in freezing point, we can dissolve a non-volatile solute so that the freezing point of that solution can be lowered. Suppose if T0F is the freezing point of pure solvent and Tf is that of the solution in which non-volatile solute is dissolved, and T0F is greater than Tf. The difference between this T in this diagram, T is nothing but the Tf and T0 means T0F. The difference between the freezing point of pure solvent and that of solution is nothing but the depression in freezing point. Means difference between T0F and Tf is nothing but the depression in freezing point. Now the freezing point depression as consequence of the vapor pressure lowering. Now we can see how the freezing point can be lowered by addition of the non-volatile solute. The effect of dissolution of the non-volatile solute into the solvent on freezing point of solvent can be understood in terms of the vapor pressure lowering. Now we can see the diagram. Diagram is the vapor pressures against the temperature. Here variation of vapor pressure with the temperature of pure solvent, solid solvent, liquid solvent and solution we can see in the graph. In the graph there are the three curves. AB curve which is the curve of solid solvent, the curve CD which is the curve of the liquid solvent and curve EF it is the curve of the solution. Now what can we see in the graph? Here the AB is the solid solvent curve. The line AB and CD it is the intersects at point B, and the line line AB and also EF intersects at point E. There are the 2 points of intersection in this graph. Point B is the intersection of solid solvent and liquid solvent, and point E it is the point of intersection of solid solvent and solution. Now we can see from the graph that liquid solvent has the higher vapor pressure, means the point CD has the higher vapor pressure and EF has the means solution has the lower vapor pressure. The EF line is below and the line CD is above the liquid solvent. And we can say that the vapor pressure of the solution is lower than that of the vapor pressure of the liquid solvent. Means we can see that the TF, here only T is written, T, it is more than TF, it is more than the T0F. We can see that the curve AB and CD intersect at the point P. It is clear from the figure that freezing point of the TF is lower than that of the pure solvent freezing. Now, why freezing point of lower? Due to addition of the non-volatile solute. But what happens at freezing point of pure liquid? The attractive forces among the molecules are large enough to cause the change of phase from liquid to solid. In solution, such solvent molecules are separated from each other because the solute molecules. Thus, separation of solvent molecule in solution is more than that of the pure solvent, and this result in the decreasing attractive force between solvent molecules. So the temperature of the solution is lowered below the freezing point of the solvent to cause the phase change. Means freezing point of that solution can be lowered by addition of the non-volatile solute. Next point is the freezing point depression and concentration of the solute. We have seen in the solution that we have a verified experiment for dilute solution. The freezing point depression means delta TF. It is directly proportional to the molarity. We can see that delta TF means freezing point depression. It is directly proportional to the molarity of that solution. And we have to remove the directly proportional to the side. We have to add is equal to delta TF is equal to KF into F. The proportionality constant KF, it is called as the freezing point depression constant, or KF, it is also called as the cryoscopic constant. If mass of that molarity of the solution is 1 and delta TF is equal to KF, the cryoscopic constant is the depression in freezing point produced by 1 molar solution of non-volatile solute. Then if M is equal to 1, then delta TF is equal to KF. And then what is the unit of KF? KF is equal to delta TF divided by M. What is the unit of temperature? It is measured in the Kelvin or degree Celsius. And molarity is measured in the mole, kilogram raised to the minus 1. So unit of KF is Kelvin kilogram mole raised to minus 1. How the molar mass of the solute from the freezing point depression? What is the molar mass of or solute from freezing point depression? We know that the expression we have seen now, delta TF is equal to KF into M. The molarity M of the solution is given by small m. M molarity of the solution from equation number 2.7. M is equal to 1000 into W2 and divided by M2 into W1. Substituting these values from equation number 2.14, we can depression in freezing point is equal to KF into 1000 into W2 divided by M2 into W1. Hence, M2 is nothing but the molar mass of that solution can be calculated by 1000 into KF into W2 divided by delta TF and W1. Now the next colligative property is the osmotic pressure. Besides the boiling point elevation and freezing point depression, the osmotic pressure, it is also a colligative property, and it is also associated with the vapor pressure lowering and can be used to determine the molar masses of dissolved solute. In this, we have to calculate the osmotic pressure. Here, the yellow color, it is the semi-permeable membrane. The osmotic pressure phenomenon involves the use of the semi-permeable membrane. In film, it is a film such as cellophane in which has the pores. We can see that there are the pores large enough to allow the solvent molecules to pass through them. These pores are small enough not allowed to passage to the larger. We can see that this can passes the small molecules only, not the large pores. These pores are small enough to not allow to passage a large solute. The molecules are ions of high molecular mass through them. The semi-permeable membrane selectively allows only for the solvent molecule can pass through this membrane. So what is osmosis? We can see the diagram. Here it is the semi-permeable membrane. When a solution and a pure solvent or two solutions of different concentration are separated by, we can see that there are the two solutes. We can see in the diagram that it is the water and this is the hydrogen bond, which is the solvent, and we can see the yellow colored line. When two solutions of pure solvent of different concentration are separated by semi-permeable membrane, the solvent molecule passes through the membrane. Which is the direction? What is the direction of flow of the solvent molecule? Solvent molecule passes through the semi-permeable membrane, takes place in the both of the direction. That in this membrane, both of the direction solvent molecule can be passed. However, the rate of passage of solvent molecule into the solution or from more dilute solution to more concentrated solution is found to be greater than the rate in which it reverses the direction. What is the osmosis? In figure, we can see that the vapor pressure of the solvent is greater than that of the solution. The net spontaneous flow of solvent molecule into the solution to form more dilute solution to more concentrated solution through the semi-permeable membrane is it is called as the osmosis. Means vapor pressure of the solvent when greater is that the solution, and net spontaneous flow of the solvent molecules into the solution to form the more dilute solution to more concentrated solution through a semi-permeable membrane. This phenomenon is osmosis. Okay, thank you students. We completed here the 4 colligative properties. In next video we can complete the remaining part of the chapter.